Alright, today I'm going to be doing a video about voice fuckery. Here are my qualifications. I gotta stab myself in the leg in about 90 minutes, do estrogen shot. If you don't know, voice is kind of interesting in transition. Oh, it's kind of a blessing and kind of a curse when you can do the girl voice. In some ways, you'll want to do that voice. In other ways, you'll be like, damn, it takes effort to speak using that voice. A lot of people think estrogen changes your voice. It doesn't really. Like, hypothetically, it changes it in the same way that getting really, really fat changes your voice a little. Fat redistribution is going to change. Masculine voices are more monotone. Single-toned, and they don't fluctuate very much. Like, this is like the fluctuation range you could expect. But with a female voice, you get double that. And sometimes that does stretch down into the masculine range. Your average is still significantly higher. Now, pitch is interesting. At first, you'll probably just change the pitch. But you'll end up having like a stereotypically gay or flamboyant sounding voice. That's natural. Don't give up at that point. It will sound like that for like a week or 2 or 3 or 4. Just subtly change things, see if it sounds better or worse, maybe do a little bit of audio analysis, fire up Audacity, right? And essentially just turn on the spectrogram mode and then zoom way far in. Really far. Now, speak normally and then do it with your attempted girl voice. I've noticed that there are 2 main pitches when speaking at a bad girl voice or even normally, right? And those are very close together normally, damn near overlapping. You might only even see one predominant pitch. With the girl voice, if you are just getting started, you'll notice a pitch that stays damn near the exact same as your regular voice, and then you'll see one that's up here while you're just raising the pitch, because this down here, that is your resonant frequency. That needs to be changed. That only comes by changing the shape of your mouth. So just breathe out, and then try to raise that pitch. That's sort of what you want to go for, if that makes any sense. Right, and then coming together, it'll sort of sound like this. And so this is raising the pitch and raising the resonant. This is also increasing the softness. So there's a certain hardness as well with a masculine voice. So let me show you that. Put your hand right here. You'll notice a lot of vibration. You just speak, right? By the way, I will say a lot of this is easier if you can do a wide range of accent. If you do accents like this, or I don't know, you talk like this sometimes, or I don't know, you talk like this, lots of weird accents, that sort of thing. If you just do goofy accents, you've got a little bit of experience playing with your voice, and that's very helpful. Pro tip, by the way, drink a ton of water. You're going to need water when doing this, especially at first. Do not skip out on that water. Your voice will hurt. You will wake up sounding like a Ford truck commercial. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Put your hand on your Adam's apple. If you speak, you feel a lot of vibration. You can try to reduce that vibration and it'll be a lot more muted. That is changing the voice softness. Now, you're never going to eliminate it completely, and keep that in mind. Like, it is always going to be there. You're not going to get rid of it, but you can minimize it. That's your goal. Now, you're also going to want to make sure you can speak from further up. You don't want to speak with your chest, you fat mommy milker. You want to speak from up here. Slightly involves larynx control. So so you notice if I talk like this, my larynx is up here. If I talk like this, it's lower a little, right? So down here and then up here, and you notice the larynx raised. That's difficult, hard to notice sometimes if you're doing it correctly. Larynx control is hard, and this is after 8 months. Right, this is my voice after 8 months. Right. Problem I had was when I first got started, didn't really know I was trans, but it was teetering on the edge, like, how much can I get away with? So the excuse I came up with to start voice training was trying to get free Discord Nitro. I came up with this after the fact. Anyway, problem I had was using the voice for a long time. This no longer felt like my voice. Even the shitty version I was doing was more feminine. I feel like I embodied that voice more, even if it was terrible. And a lot of the time when you do your voice training, you're going to hear your natural voice. you're going to hear yourself. It doesn't change that that's you. If you know what to listen for, and you are yourself, you know what your voice sounds like, you're gonna know this is you speaking. And so a lot of the time it can make it hard to tell if it's passing. And at first, I will say, you're probably not going to be passing. Like I said, I've been training my voice for 8 months, and it only sounds like this. I know people with much better voices who have been training for longer, though, right? You have to spend time and effort to achieve something like this. It's not difficult. It just requires lots of time, and you just need to do it. And finding good tutorials online is really helpful. Honestly, a lot of what I did was not vocal exercises, because those didn't help me in practice. I am a person who really struggles to apply those things. Isolating a part that seems completely unrelated to the whole makes it impossible for me to relate it back to the whole. So I just can't fucking do those exercises. They don't work for me, right? So those exercises don't work for me at all. Not even a little. I don't know how to describe it, right? Sorry, I got distracted looking at leaves. Essentially, doing these exercises, they like, say a vowel. That doesn't work for me. I need to just start speaking, right? And if I fuck up along the way, I fuck up along the way, but it's measurable progress. If you're like me, you're not going to be able to sing normally. But you definitely won't be able to sing with this voice. And doing accents. If you do a lot of accents like this, yeah, being able to apply what you're doing here onto another voice is actually quite fucking difficult, especially because the different genders sort of have 2 distinct accents, generally, right? You have to keep that shit in mind. Like, if you know what a masculine accent like this sounds like, you don't always know what the feminine one sounds like. Also, one thing you should realize with female voice training, nasality. It's gonna sound a little nasal. There's probably ways to decrease it, but I've always gotten the criticism that the female voice, for me, is very nasally. I got about 3 hours till I gotta be at work. Damn, I haven't taken a shower yet or done my shop. But yeah, basically, an interesting exercise that helped me when feminizing my voice was imagining my voice. This is a thing I picked up from a YouTuber. I think it's that one that's in like VR chat. Imagine your voice leaving your mouth, and like, so if you're speaking and then you imagine it leaving your mouth and going out into the world. I should really make a more structured trans voice video though. I think that would be very interesting generally.